remember Rod Serling would come out and he'd say, imagine if you will, and then he'd describe some crazy situation that could never happen. So I made up my own example. Imagine a world in which nobody has to take any special training, no board exams, no competency tests to become a dentist, a doctor, an electrician, a plumber, a hairdresser, a real estate broker, a car mechanic, or a builder. For example, if you want to be an electrician, you just say, I'm an electrician now. You don't have to take a test. Well, we all know that's ridiculous. That can't happen. And what does the real estate broker and the hairdresser have in common? They're both regulated by the Florida Department of Professional Regulation. They both had to take specific training, pass exams, and then get a license from the Florida Department of Professional Regulation. So many industries are regulated like that. Here's a list of all the classes required to become a web designer. None. Now, if you wanted to take classes, they do exist, but there are no classes required to be a web designer. Here's a list of all the certifications you need to be a web designer. Now, you might think you need to be certified by Microsoft and ASP or .NET or something. Nope. You can take classes in it, but there's nothing you're required to be certified in. You've just crossed over into the twilight zone. So that's my world. That's why there's such a range of levels of experience in web design. For example, if I go to the dentist, doesn't matter which dentist, I'm sure the dentist knows how to do a tooth extraction, fill a cavity, do a root canal. I'm sure of it because the dentist had to take specific classes, had to pass competency exams, had to get licensed. Web designers don't have to do anything. Oh, but it gets worse. Imagine, let's say, I just got released, my 20-year sentence is over, just got out of prison this morning. Who's going to hire me? I'm a convicted criminal. Well, I could get my tattoos removed, go buy a suit, get my hair cut, have business cards printed that say web designer. Then I can just go collect deposits. So I say, yeah, I'll make your website, give me a $2,000 deposit. And then I do no work at all, because I don't have to. I'm a web designer. I take your money. Now what are you going to do? Report me to the Department of Professional Regulation? I'm not licensed. I'm a web designer. There's no governmental agency you can report me to. What are you going to do? Hire an attorney and sue me? Yeah, $300 an hour, plus court costs, filing fees. It's not worth it. You can't do a thing if a web designer rips you off. That's why reputation is so important in web design. So what makes Ad Excellence different? Everyone who works for me as a designer has to have a bachelor's degree, 4-year college degree, just to learn how to make things look good. My programmers have to have a computer science degree. I've got a writer who's got a master's degree in nonfiction writing, so she's going to write all the text on the website. I never ask my clients, so what do you want to say on your website? We've got a writer for that. That's what she lives for, to write that stuff. And we've been in the web design business since 1995. Now you might think every web design company is like that. No, they're not. You run into all kinds of problems. Well, here's an example from the BNI website. Recently, as many of you know, my wife's mom passed away in upstate New York. So I went to the BNI website to look for a probate attorney. You can see my search up there, Rochester, New York, probate attorney. And I followed the directions right here in yellow. It tells you exactly how to do it. And what do I find? Well, the first one that comes up is in California, and it's a plumbing company. Or, no, it's a state planning, but in the wrong state. Next one comes up, Florida. Next one is Western Cape. We're not even in this country anymore. Now I found someone in Rochester, Indiana, not Rochester, New York. Here's another country. Here's Rochester, New York, and it's a real estate attorney. I cannot find a probate attorney in Rochester, New York on the BNI Connect website. Now, am I complaining about BNI? No. I'm just trying to point out how difficult it is to find a good web designer because no one had to take a class. No one had to pass any test. So it's really difficult for anyone to find a good web designer. Here's another one. A few years ago, I made a website for the town of Bay Harbor Islands. It was great. They had this website for 4 years. Last year, they said, let's see what someone else can do. They hired a new web design company. So what's wrong with this form? You're supposed to fill out the form in order to reserve space at the park if you want to have a party or picnic there. Well, the problem is down here, there's a little box where you type in info, and below that, you're supposed to enter your credit card, because you've got to pay for it. But you see a scroll bar here. You can scroll left and right, which is pointless. It shouldn't be there. But you cannot scroll down. There's no way to scroll down. So you can't enter your credit card info. You can't click the submit button. That's on their new website. Now, they don't know how to work e-commerce, the new web designer. So my company still manages the e-commerce part of the Town of Bay Harbor's website. And so that's all over on our server. What they did on their servers, they created a window to show the form in. So we have the place where you enter the credit card info. We have the submit button, but they made the window this big for a form that's that big. Oh, but it gets better. In 2015, when everyone's getting a website that's mobile friendly, they made one that isn't. Now, that's what it would look like on my iPhone, but here I've got it about 3.5 or 4 feet tall, and you still can't read any of the things that are on there. But look at Brett Schlacker's website that I made. You can read the phone number, and then this 3 bars, that's recognized now as the icon for navigation. So you click that, you can see anything on the website. Here's the navigation of this one, 4 feet tall, and you still can't read it. Richard's Gems and Jewelry, navigation right there, big and clear. You can read the name, you can read all the buttons. Jewelry, but you can't read a thing on this one. Let's compare it to a couple more. Ocean Collision, you can read the name, you can read the phone number, there's the navigation. Here's the school, navigation, you can read the text. But here, you can't read a thing. Here's an example of a website. On a computer, it would look like this. You've got the buttons up here, about us, products, services, contact us. And on a phone, it looks like that. There's the 3 bars that you click for navigation. Every website today should be like that. About 3 years ago, that was all we offered. We don't even ask. So do you want it mobile friendly? We don't even ask. We're making it mobile friendly. We don't even ask that question. How important is it? Well, let's look at this. I went on my Google app on my phone. I did a search for Miami jewelry. 3 sites come up. Now right here it says mobile friendly next to Richard's Jewelry. I didn't put that there. Google put that there. Google knows this website is mobile friendly. This one isn't. That one isn't. So if you're on an iPad or Android tablet or a Windows tablet, if anyone owns such a thing, or on a smartphone, which one are you going to pick? You're going to pick the only one that's mobile friendly, Richard's Jewelry. That's how important it is today to have a website that's mobile friendly, because no one will look at it if it doesn't say that right there. We also do, as custom programmers since 1995, we do some pretty involved, complex things, more than just sticking a few pictures on a page and adding some text. Here's a website we did for a website where you can review schools online. You can post a review, what you like about a private school or a public school. If you're a teacher, you have a certain level of access. If you're the administrator of the website, you have total access to everything. If you're a parent, you have a different level of access. So we create all these different logins that do different things. This is a website we did for a roofer. And you may think that's just going to be pictures of roofs and some info about their company, but we added something different. What roof is best for you? So if you click that, here's one of the differences between hiring some guy who goes, yeah, I make websites, and hiring an ad agency. We think about the person who might fill out a form on a website. And so what we put in here is questions that just look kind of strange, like weatherman predicts 50% chance of rain. What's your reaction? Happiness, disappointment, indifference, and so on. So all these questions, as people go through, there's about 20 questions, it ends up telling the roofer what kind of person they're about to go see on that appointment. Depending on how you answer, you might be the person who's looking for the cheapest roofer in town. He'll go there prepared for that. He'll show you the least expensive shingles. Depending on your answers, you might be a person who's indicating that you're probably going to live in this house forever, and you're going to want a roof that's really going to last. So he's going to bring you really expensive barrel tiles. So it helps them to have this information. Here's a website we made for the BOMA, which is Business Owners and Managers Association. Nationwide, we made the website for the South Florida chapter. They can change the pictures that are up here in the animation. They can change the text that goes with it. They can change the 4 pictures down here. They can change the video that appears there. They can change what's over there. They can change the buttons in the navigation all through what we call CMS, or Content Management System. So as custom programmers, we can build the website to do whatever they want it to do. We have no limitations on what we can do. In addition to web design, we do a lot of other things. We make TV commercials. We do social media marketing, web design, of course, print design, any kind of business cards, brochures. We do movie theater advertising. We do event promotion, corporate apparel, custom embroidery. We do custom app development. We can make apps that'll do anything. Trade show displays, promotional products, viral marketing, and direct mail marketing. So that's what our company does. Thanks for your attention today.